Good morning to you, everybody. Thank you for being here. If you will, like, share, comment on the post, and then let's jump in and look at Third John, Three-Eyed John. It's where I heard this one go, One-Eyed, Two-Eyed, and Three-Eyed John. It's Three-Eyed John, chapter one, or the only chapter here, First John verse 9, Third John verse 9, I guess would be the correct way to say it. He says, I have written something to the church, but Diotrephes, who likes to put himself first, does not acknowledge our authority. So if I come, I will bring up what he is doing, talking wicked nonsense against us, and not content with that, he refuses to welcome the brothers and also stops those who want to and puts them out of the church. Beloved, do not imitate evil, but imitate good. Whoever does good is from God. Whoever does evil has not seen God. So Paul is going to write here, John is writing here about a man by the name of Diotrephes. And he's writing here, again, Gaius had been a good leader, but now he says you need to be aware that there are people in the church who are not good leaders. They don't have the same commitment. They don't have the same love for God as others. And John calls him out, calls him by name. And not only does he call him by name, Diotrephes, but then he says, here's what's wrong with him. He likes to put himself first. Again, I think all of us can understand that phrase. He had an ego. He liked to be in the limelight. He liked the attention. He was proud. All those things. And again, we don't know all the ways that he lived that out, how he demonstrated that, but suffice it to say, I think most of us can put the pieces of the puzzle together there and know that what he's talking about. And he says his problem is, he says he doesn't want to live under authority. John had been chosen by God, placed there to as an apostle to serve, and yet Diotrephes wouldn't submit, wouldn't listen to him, and no more clear example of a man who is not right with God, who is not living as he should, is one who rejects the leadership that God has ordained and put ahead of him. And to make it worse, not only would he not accept his authority, he says he's talking junk about us, talking wicked nonsense against us, and not just John, but the other workers. He's speaking evil of that. He's putting people out of the church who won't go along with them. He says he refuses to welcome people into the church and is putting the people out of the church who do welcome them. And so Diotrephes is just really showing himself as a renegade here, who won't submit to the truth, who won't submit to authority, who wants to again be in charge. And John says, I'm not going to shirk, I'm not going to back down from calling wicked wicked. And then John's real point here is then what he says in verse 11. He has described for us this man Diotrephes. And I can imagine, in all likelihood, everyone knew Diotrephes and had dealt with him and knew his shortcomings, we'll call it that. And verse 11 then contains John's real message here. Certainly he was calling Diotrephes out and made no shame of that, but his real lesson is in verse 11 when he says, now, don't do that. Don't be like that. We don't imitate evil. The temptation sometimes for man, it seems, is that we see someone getting away with something, and we think, well, if they can, I can. Probably no better example of that is than out on the roads of our fair country, out on the interstate. We're driving along, trying to adhere pretty close to the speed limit. Somebody comes whizzing by us, and another car, and another one, and they go blowing by, and we think, well, if they can speed, I can speed. I'm not, and so we speed up and go with them. And so many times, even in the church, that kind of mindset. We see people doing things, and it seems like they're getting away with it. It seems like there's no ramifications. Seems like there's no punishment. And what do? We go imitate that evil. John reminds us here, here's what Diotrephes is doing wrong. You all know it. Now, you don't go act like him. You imitate good. You do like God says. Whoever does good is from God. You remember that. Because he's evil, because it seems like he's getting away with it, you remember this. The evil man has not seen God. So you go do good. Let's go today and do good. Let's not imitate evil, but let's imitate God in all that we do. Have a good one. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.